Hey everybody, it's me Teja, and it means it's sort of Thursday, kind of Friday, and it's time for me to make another video. Um, this week's question is about dealing with medical professionals and my experience with medical professionals. Well, the only thing I can say or that I can give advice to you about medical professionals is they are not always right. And if you do not trust their opinion, get a second and a third opinion. If all of the three doctors are unanimous, or the three healthcare professionals are unanimous in their evaluation of whatever it may be, then that's when you should consider, okay, maybe it's me. Until then, you have to understand that doctors and most medical professionals aren't generally just going to be right. You know, some of them have a really good idea, but they can be very frustrating to deal with. Now, I say this because, I've had some recent medical problems that, was quite scary. And I have to say that it was my persistence that helped me get to being better than it did when I was, just taking one doctor's advice. In regards to transition, though, I don't I don't feel like doctors have treated me any which way particular. Um, when I moved from the original house that I was living in, when I first moved here to England, I was seeing a GP, and she saw me through the first beginning of my transition, and um, I didn't really enjoy her because I always felt like she wanted to just treat me second class, and she didn't know how to approach me and my situation. Um, so when I moved, I saw a new medical doctor, obviously, and the toughest thing for me was explaining to them that I was trans, and it does give me a little bit more medical issues that are different than regular medical issues for normal cisgendered people. Um, and I feel like I spend a lot of my time at my appointments trying to convince them that I am trans. And it can be an issue. Like, I remember, um, well, nobody really needs to know this, but in my family, epididymis runs in my family. And I had a bout of it back in March. And so I went to the doctor and I was like, look, like I've been having some pain down there. And I was wondering if you could check it out. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I'm a male to female transsexual. And he's just like, really? And I'm like, why would I be coming to you with a testicular problem if I wasn't? And he was like, so you mean you're female to male? And I'm like, no. Look at me. Do I look female to male to you? Anyway, um, and I mean, when I moved to a smaller town, which is the town I currently live in, I went to a new medical practice, and I walked in there. I was filling out my medical forms and stuff like that, and I ticked off the male box, and I wrote down that I was a transsexual, and I handed in to the registration, and 2 days later, I get a phone call from them being like, "Oh, you ticked off the wrong box, so we're just gonna put you in the right box." And I'm like, "But I'm legally male." And they're like, "Oh, well, that's fine." And Yeah, I don't know. In terms of trans related issues, I mean, I know the one thing that is really annoying, especially here in England, because the NHS is so ridiculous, is you need to be persistent. Like, you absolutely need to be persistent. I can't stress it enough. And because they will just bat you around, they will make it seem like you don't got no big issue. What your deal is, girlfriend, they will just literally just take their fucking time. And it's quite frankly the most annoying shit in the world. So be persistent and you will save yourself a lot. Um, um, yeah, just be persistent. That's all I have to say. I'm like being so spacey right now. My bimbo hair has gotten to my head. Um, huh. Check out these biceps. Booyah! I wish I had more to say about this topic, but I personally just find doctors very annoying, especially since I have always dealt with the same doctor my entire life until I moved to this country. I've never had to see or be helped by another doctor ever. So I find it quite frustrating, and I just don't like doctors in general. Anyway, guys, until next week, I will see you later. Don't forget to send us your messages by commenting below or mailing us at our Trans Youth Channel inbox, or send us an email to transyouthchannel@gmail.com, and we will be sure to answer your question in a future video. Just make sure that we haven't answered the question already. So if you have a question, go look at our previous videos. See if we've answered it already. If we have, you have your answer. If we haven't, we'll be more than happy to answer them for you. But we do really, 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 really need your questions. And I hope you guys are all fabulous. Love and respect yourself. And I will see you all next week. Bye.